sort of phasing out the software that does that due to some budget issues we're having. So we really want to cut down on those filled in paper ones. We definitely want to have that as an option, but I like the idea of sort of waiting on that and see how the postcard round goes. And you go to that second round. I think that's a good way to do it.
I think we're fine with that to start with. I guess, right?
Yeah.
Consensus is we're fine to start with that.
Okay.
Okay. Any other thoughts on the survey now before we pass on to maybe the next topic, which would be SWATs? What I will say too is that all of the postcard templates, the survey, the online survey example is all in a Google Drive folder. I've got them all uploaded, so after this meeting, I can send you guys all the link to that folder, and you have access to everything to look at, to review, to print if you want.
That sounds great.
Okay.
Do you guys want to, is there anything else that you wanted to discuss right now about the survey?
We're good.
Okay. So, like I mentioned, we're thinking about doing a SWOT in January. Again, SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Essentially, what we do is we'll bring an easel, and we'll write strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats on each their own individual papers, and just kind of let the community and you guys and whoever else is present just let the ideas flow. What are the strengths of our community? And it's actually the ones that I've seen are really exciting because you get to kind of feel this sense of community with the people who go and bring up things that you think are great about the town and the village, and things that opportunities that you see coming around the horizon. And now with COVID, there's a lot of things that are real, different avenues I think that are opening up for planning and for zoning. So Matt, did you have anything else you wanted to say about the SWOT?
No, I think you covered it pretty well. January's not really the greatest time to have that, but that's kind of where we are. So I don't know. Hopefully the folks in Lowville are pretty hardy, and yeah, I mean, that might be something that we end up doing. Maybe you said this. Maybe we might end up doing that online somehow. That's something we've got to think about, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the Zoom meeting. I'm not sure how that would work, but that's out there far enough that I think we have to see how things go this fall with COVID.
Right. And I mean, the idea with both the survey and the SWOT is really to try and get some public participation and engagement the best you can to try and, capture all of those ideas. And the survey is really like getting perceptions, public perception. And then the SWOT is really a kind of a visioning exercise. And it's kind of about seeing what things that you'd like to see in the community that aren't there, or things that are there that are working really well, or some things that might be coming that are a little worrying and that you might want to regulate in the future. So those are kind of the two big things to get that information. And there's obviously a lot of different ways to get the word out and try and get participation, because that's one thing that we'll say, from the commission standpoint, we've seen that sometimes participation is really low, especially when it comes to SWOT. You got to really get the word out and try to get people to show up. Otherwise, it might just be the committee. So we're at 7:30, right at an hour. Did you guys want to talk about maybe some next steps, things you want to, things moving forward? Maybe a good thing to start off is, how often do you guys want to meet?
You tell us.
We're flexible. We can meet weekly. Well, maybe that's a bit much, but we can meet as often as you guys are willing to. So if you wanted to move this along real fast, we can do bi-monthly if you're busy and that wouldn't work. Maybe monthly. I think that's my understanding is that's pretty much the standard is doing it monthly.
Yeah, most communities will do once a month. That seems to work out pretty well.
Okay.
But we have, like Elena says, we've done different, we've done more often, we've done less often, but a month is kind of your standard.
What would we typically be doing then in the next couple of meetings, which really just gives us November and December before SWAT in January? I'm new, so I'm just wondering what to expect we should be working on or preparing for in those next 2 sessions.
Yeah, good question. I would say the next session we've already actually done some maps for you for the plan. Maps, we've kind of got a standard checklist of what maps we include in a comprehensive plan. You guys can expand it as much as you want. So we'd present those next time. We'd also give you the community profile, which is, it's kind of broken down. It's basically your census data, demographic data from maybe the American Community Survey, which gives you kind of a snapshot of the community in numbers. And we get data, again, like I said, from census, from the American Community Survey, from the New York State Comptroller, from parcel data, and then that all gets kind of packaged into the community profile. So those 2 things would be coming at you next week. And we could talk about them then if you wanted, but you probably would want some time to look them over in your free time, and then we could revisit that in December. But I think for November, the real goal would be to try to get the survey kinks flattened out and get a plan set and basically get the surveys out or get the postcards out.
Yeah, I think in November we want to nail down what questions do you want to ask. Most importantly, what are the questions?
Yeah.
So Elena, are you going to send us then surveys to look at so we can kind of individually as members see the questions, or is it just standard? We kind of went through it fast earlier, so I wasn't.
We did. Absolutely, we did. Yeah, I will send that to you guys. It's in the folder.
Oh, okay.
But what I will do again, the questions I pulled them right from 1998. I haven't added anything that was different from 1998. So we can add a couple, Matt and I might be able to add a couple questions that are common in other surveys. But again, what I can do is maybe even PDF that survey and send it to you guys so that you can print it out and mark notes on it. And edit it that way. And then next week, we would talk about all the questions, and we could go question by question and see what stays and what goes.
That sounds good.
Okay. Okay. Because the way the Google form works is there's a behind the scenes editing function, which right now, I think Matt has access to that. The way Google Drive works, and you guys probably already know this, is that it's a collaborative thing. So if you guys wanted to go in and edit questions yourselves, you can. But sometimes, it's hard to keep track of who makes edits when and what. So we could probably take a few approaches. One, just having maybe Matt and I be the people who make the edits, and then have you guys, print off print them off and make your edits on paper, and then we discuss them. Matt and I take our notes, and then go into the form later and edit it. But if anyone wants access to edit, you absolutely can.
I will tell you, well, I appreciate that. I see bad things happening unintentionally, so I will allow you to edit and just make a copy with my thoughts. That will
10-4.
save everyone so much work.
Okay. 10-4 there. All right then. Well, I will send out an email then to everybody with the Google Drive folder and with the links to the survey. Well, you can go through the folder if you want, or if you want, I can show you real quickly before I let you go. I can share my screen and just show you guys how the folders are set up so you can know how to navigate it. But I'll send you static copies of everything too. So here's our Google folder. Hold on, let me get back into it. So it's the folder's titled Lowville. You've got a folder for comp plan resources. And there, that's where the packet is that I sent you guys on the first email that tells you about the process, why comprehensive plan. So if you ever needed to refer to that, so that's in the comp plan resources folder. There's a folder for evaluating 2008-2009 goals and strategies. And that's where, you know, all your goals and strategies were outlined in that table format. There's a folder for meeting materials. That's where I put this presentation for today, and that's where all of your I guess your names. I've got you guys in a spreadsheet of who's on the committee. That's in there, and then there's a folder for the survey, and that's I've got the 1998 survey archived there. I've got the postcard. The option 1 and option 2 and any other option you want to throw in there. I've got in here the costs. It's a spreadsheet of the costs that were quoted to us by a printing company called Coughlin that you guys can review and, you know, compare with your budget. And I've got the surveys right there, but I'll put it in PDF, the survey in PDF here so that you can download the PDF instead of making edits to the live version. Okay, so with that, does anybody have anything else they wanted to add before we close off?
I'm good.
Yes, we're good.
Great, well, thanks guys. Thanks for making time and we're excited. We're gonna be in this for the long haul.
Thank you.
Guys, do we want to schedule our next meeting while we're on here?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, what do you guys, what works for you guys?
Go too far in the, and I like the beginning of the month too, because later in the month you got Thanksgiving, you got Christmas.
Right.
I
Everybody,
kind of like the
right.
beginning of the month.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Dare try the day after election day?
The 4th works for me.
That would be like we'd be doing like the first Wednesday of the month.
that would be the 4th.
If you can get on a you know, that first whatever, then that's easy, you know, easier to remember.
Yeah, that would be October 4th or November 4th and then December 2nd. Does that work for you, Matt?
Yep.
Okay, what about you guys?
For the most part.
Yeah, really.
Carla's nodding yes. All right then, so we'll see you guys on October 4th then?
November.
Oh, sorry. November 4th.
Same
Okay.
time, 6:30?
Yeah, it's at 6:30 works for me.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, I'll get this email out to you and we'll be in touch.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night, everybody.
Care.
You do.